Yeah, Sting will be feeling a heck of a lot better taking that frame. As for Ronnie, he'll probably be ruining the fact that he finished so awkward and splitting the pack up, leaving that shot he ultimately fouled. But there you go, it's all gone now.
Well, what a shot that is he's picked out. This is incredible. Not just the pot, but to get the cue ball underneath the second red so he didn't leave it should he miss it. That was fabulous. Sometimes feel like some shots are worth more than one.
Junhui won.
Been the tail of the tape so far. Been quite dramatic already this match in just the 6 frames we've had. The only thing we haven't had yet is a century break. Oh, another fantastic pot from Junhui. And this time he's on the colour.
Yeah, you can definitely say his long game has shot up the scale. Some of the long balls he's potted here. And what a split. The only thing is, you may need scaffolding for this one.
40.
It's funny, isn't it? You wouldn't see the extended spider used from one tournament to the next. We've seen it 3 times in 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah, the multitude of reds to go over, but it was a lot
9.
easier shot than the last one he potted in the last frame. But as I say, all week he's had this determination that when things have started to go wrong, he's kicked in and he's found a bit.
16.
He's doing it again here. Made something happen in this frame, that's for sure.
17. $24.
Just over 15 minutes on average per frame, which is fairly good. As your current match time, they've been playing for just over an hour and a half. And that's a good pace of play.
25.
Yeah, it was never going to be a messy match, this, was it? The two players had too much quality and like to get on with it. Really important visit, this, you feel.
32. Thank you. 33.
It's hard to believe, isn't it, when you watch Ding in full flow as he has been this week, that he's somehow slipped out of the world's elite top 16. To come through qualifiers just to be here this week.
40.
Started in the last 80, beating Daniel Wells 6-4, before beating Robbie Williams 6-3 to get here. And then had the draw to play the defending champion, Mark Allen.
41.
And once he got through that match, played some fantastic stuff to find himself in today's final.
$48.
That little cluster of reds as well is not the world's worst.
49.
I was thinking it would be lovely to go into those off the pink, maybe straight down the middle. The split of them would open them up, but he's played this way. And the top one may pot anyway.
Go on, take me right. $56.
Needs another 11 points with these two loose reds.
57.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan will need snookers by the time Ding gets to those 5 that are in that cluster. Does it reach? Does it reach? Goodness me, his heart will have been in his mouth there. That looked for all the world as if it was short.
62.
On its last turn.
$63. $69.
Didn't really get a split right down the middle. Tricky little cutback this. In she goes. Great shot. You were saying Sean hasn't had a century yet. Here's one coming up.
77.
Taking these superbly well.
78.
And all very much self-made. Go on, Ding, prove me wrong. Yeah, keep going. Deserves to make a century here. It's been a fabulous break, this.
80.
Whatever
80.
happens in the last frame, if it had lost this, and you think 6-2 down to Ronnie going into the final session wouldn't have been very pretty. And even if he doesn't win the last frame, 5-3 down certainly isn't the end of the world. So there's a huge frame for him to win.
87. $94. 95.
Well played, Junhui. Excellent contribution.
102. 105. 109. 114. 115. Ding Junhui,
Not quite
114
there,
on the
but
front.
vintage Ding. What a break that was. Certainly made it happen himself right at the start of it. Very positive. And that was a wonderful century. First of the final, and he trails by 4 frames to 3. Remarkable career from Ding Junhui, and a remarkable frame of snooker he's just played. Very impressive. You know, players, Sean, they can sense, can't they, when there's a danger in a match, and it was looking like it was going to run away there, but he really made something happen in that frame.
Yeah, the mistakes that were made, certainly in the first 4 frames from Ding Junhui, would have really hurt him at the interval. Should have been 3-1 up, in my opinion. And so at 4-1, it looked like it was getting a bit forlorn, but got himself
Ronnie
right back into this
break.
match, and you'd have to say if he somehow managed to leave this building for the interval at 4 frames apiece, what a result that would be. Similar long red to the couple he knocked in the previous frame. Very, very close. Was playing for the black. Don't think he's left anything for O'Sullivan to have a go at. It's been 60 centuries in this tournament this week. It really has been a fabulous barrage of scoring from the players. Massive frame now in the context of the match. 4 each will taste a lot sweeter than 5-3.
Yeah, and it just shows you, doesn't this game, no fear of reputations, doesn't care how good you are. When the time Ronnie O'Sullivan played that screw cannon into the pack and landed awkward on that red, he hasn't really had a look at a ball since. Ding was brilliant last frame. It's just amazing how the game can get away from you sometimes with doing absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah, and having not really featured in the last couple of frames, this is a massive shot. Very, very difficult off the cushion. Playing for the black. Yeah, that was very, very difficult anyway. Now, did that kiss spoil things for Ding Junhui? Can he get through to either red?
Yeah, I think he can certainly have the one that's over the middle. Bridging will be slightly different and difficult, but just make sure you don't touch anything. No, first chance for Ding. And there's at least, well, 4 reds, maybe 5 available.
He'd love to be able to pot this red. get on the black
6.
and do so in a way that you can just nudge that red that's above the black out of the way, if it's not potable.
7.
Doesn't have that angle this time, so maybe he thinks that red above the black will pot once the black's respotted. Well, does this red go past the black into the other corner? Well, there you see, clearly it does, so
40.
perfectly in position now.
Yeah, and the red that's on the right-hand side, the pack loose, little cannon into that one will leave the red closest to it in the opposite pocket, so nice little cannon here. Well, played the screw back for the loose one first, but it's still an option for the next shot. A little flick on that will just leave you on the bottom
22.
red.
23.
Well, he's quite gone far enough, but yeah, he's perfect. And now, because he's a little bit low, he should move a few more reds about. It's all about getting position here, though.
30.
Plays this with power and make sure you land on a colour.
31.
I'm not there.
Well, this cue ball almost stops there, and then the spin gets hold of it and pushes it through those reds. He can still pot this black, but very risky, very missable.
And there's some pressure on this, and he knows it. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
38. 'Thank you. 39.
Excellent display of courage from Ding Junhui here. Dragged himself up from the floor at 4-1 behind. And it looks for all the world, barring something silly, that he is going to come out of this session 4 frames apiece with Ronnie O'Sullivan. That didn't look likely an hour ago.
$47.
212 points without reply now. There's evidence of the turnaround in play.
$54. 55.
Yeah, just coming into the danger zone here, where you're just not too many points away from taking the frame. You've got to try and keep that cue ball right under control till you get 75 points or over. Nothing worse when you do all the work and you make a ricket near this part of the frame and your opponent comes in and clears up, which has happened quite a bit already today, Sean.
Yeah, happened in frame 2 with that missed pink to the right hand middle pocket. Absolute sitter playing the cannon, and it cost him that frame. Next frame he missed a black off the spot, cost him. Just needs to give every shot now maximum concentration.
Thanks, Ding. 63.
So this black will put him 70 points ahead, 75 still remaining, so needs one more red after this black. And Ronnie O'Sullivan will lead snookers.
Well, the only way he can't be on one is if he rests on the red.
70.
And guess what?
Touching ball.
He's rested on it. It was a funny choice, wasn't it? You could either play a sort of short and guarantee yourself a pot, or go in a bit firmer and move it. And where he's finished is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, you could easily say that's unlucky. It's not unlucky. That is a really poor shot at a really important stage of this match. You cannot put the cue ball there. What a mistake.
Thanks, Ding.
Taking the
Ding Junhui
opportunity,
seventh.
using the touching ball to try and put the black in a complicated position as O'Sullivan comes back to the table, but he shouldn't have been at the table. This frame should have been over. Don't think that's what Ronnie played. I think he was trying a double to screw back for the black, but he's not left anything simple here for Ding. But this red would seal the frame. Now where's this red going to finish? That wasn't his best piece of cueing by a long way. Got the double kiss on the cue ball.
Yeah, it's the first one of those long pots, and certainly in the last session here, that he's overhit. That's not going to go in the pocket. He's covered it with the pink. Is it a big hole?
Well, it's incredibly lucky to cover that red behind the pink, having left it dripping over the pocket.
Do you think that's a big hole? Think maybe he can play one of the reds up into the corner and off it?
I'm not sure. I think it's very thin, the one that's to the left of the 5. I'm not sure if the second red in, he can hit enough of it. He's looking at it.
Can you turn that off, please?
You'd think anywhere up the left-hand side of the table just before that red. Don't think that's the right angle. Needs cover.
All right.
Needs cover.
Yeah, played it in quite a clever way, didn't he? There's definitely a chance. He just made sure he got a good cue ball, which he certainly did. Well, I'll be flabbergasted if that's not the end of the frame.
One.
And he lost position when he was 70 points, sticking on that red. But you have to say, aside from that, what a wonderful response this has been from Ding Junhui.
Yeah.
And Ronnie's laughing at him
Six
and shakes his hand and says, "That's enough. I'll see you later on, pal." What a great performance from Ding Junhui. 4-1 down. It's 4 each. Plenty to play for tonight, everybody.